Good morning, matriculants. How are you today? I know that you are busy with your prelim papers and you are going to be writing English paper 1 on Thursday. So I'm not going to discuss today any poetry. What I'm going to discuss today is some of the little flags that need to be discussed in preparation for your paper 1. So I want to talk to you about the comprehension and the kind of diction, the kind of words that may pop up. So you may have questions like, discuss the ambiguity of a particular word. Ambiguity means a double meaning. Then you have the word pun, which means a play on the word. So you might have the word, for example, peer. It may refer to your fellow friend or fellow peers, but it may also refer to a pier at the end, of a harbor or a deck. So have a look at the word pun. Then, guys, you need to know the difference between denotation and connotation. I'm just looking at my watch so that I don't make it too lengthy. Denotation, if they say what is the denotative meaning of a word, it means the word as you would find the meaning in the dictionary. Then you have connotative. Connotative means the meaning of the word in the context of the passage. You need to know what irony means. Irony means the opposite of what you are saying. Then you have satire. Especially in the cartoons, you have a satirical situation. A satire means when the cartoonist, for example, pokes gentle fun at something that is a social issue, a religious issue, or relationships. So satire means a gentle mockery, making fun of. Then you have the word stereotypical. Stereotypical means perspectives or perceptions of people, and you generalize about them, like blondes, for example, being stupid. Not the case, ladies and gents. Okay, then you may have a cartoon that shows a caricature of someone. A caricature is a drawing in which the facial features are exaggerated. Like Obama, for example, his big ears. Trump, the big nose, the hair that is swept across the face. So it is an exaggeration of facial or bodily features. Guys, be aware in the text that you are reading what the aim of it is. Why did the writer write the passage? What does he or she want to convey to you and to me? The last question when you are doing your comprehension is the comparison of the two texts. Now, you normally have a prose piece, and then you may have a smaller prose piece or a little cartoon or a little poster picture. So you have to say, does the one text support the ideas of the other? So make sure, that's normally worth quite a few marks. Make sure that you don't just miss that out because it seems too lengthy. Do that well. Also be aware of the style that the passage is written in. You know that you dress in a particular style, whether it's goth, whether it's whatever it may be, but you have a particular style. A writer has a particular style, whether it is light-hearted, whether it is serious, formal, informal. You need to decide that, and that is decided by the words, the diction that is used in the passage. Guys, also be aware of the tone of voice of that passage. Is the tone scathing? Is it critical? Or is it praiseworthy? Is it light-hearted? You will decide on the tone, the way the words are spoken. Guys, also for this comprehension, go over your figures of speech, also important. Next, we have the summary. Now, I know that the paper suggests that you spend quite a bit of time on the summary. I am saying keep the summary answers within 15 minutes. It's only worth 10 marks. You don't want to spend 30 minutes on your summary. So keep it tight, 15 minutes. Remember that you do not want to quote verbatim from the passage into your summary. You're not going to get the marks that you need, so you use your own words. Remember, in a summary, no examples, no stats, no figures of speech. All you want is the bones of the passage. You toss out the skin, the muscle, and you just have the bones. Now, read carefully the instruction, because I see sometimes the requirement is 7 points and a fluent paragraph. Other times they give you the choice, either 7 points or a fluent paragraph. Please read that carefully. And even if you are doing the points, those points can't be, short little shorthand answers. They must be relatively concise, but it must make sense. You have a subject, a verb, and an object in your sentence. Don't make comments that don't make sense. It's got to be a fluent sentence. Guys, remember that your title, they often say don't give one, but if it is, it's not included in the number of words. And please give the number of words that you have used. Now we come to the visual literacy. That is advertisements, cartoons, posters, etc. So you've got to keep in the back of your mind your ADA principle. What is ADA? A stands for attention. What grabs your attention when you first see the advertisement? And it's usually the visuals. It's usually the graphics, the drawings, the photographs. So that normally draws your attention. The I in ADA stands for interest. What sustains your interest in the advertisement? And that's normally the text, because you're reading about the object which is being sold. Then desire is the D in ADA. What of your desires are appealed to? And that's the manipulativeness of the advertisers. Do they appeal to your desire to be beautiful? Do they appeal to your desire to drive a prestigious car, a beautiful fountain pen? So you need to know what desire is appealed to. Sometimes fear is appealed to, like insurance people. They appeal to your fear for leaving your family and them being destitute. So sometimes the desire is a fear of being homeless, of not being covered medically. So watch that fear. Guys, also be aware, questions in the cartoons, for example, will discuss words like satire, irony. What also pops up in cartoons is the direct and indirect speech. So in your cartoon, you've got direct speech, and they say rewrite it into indirect or reported. So it's always in the past tense, and you say, she said that, da 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 da. Then you can't go wrong. Unless, of course, it's a question. Then you have to say, Mary asked Peter what the weather was like. Then you can't put the that in. Guys, there's always a question that says this. What is the character feeling, and how do we know that? So you would say the character is feeling angry. How do we know that? Well, if you look at the facial expression, the eyes are glaring, the eyebrows are bent inwards, the mouth is in a thin line. Don't just say the facial expressions show the anger. No, be specific. When you are talking about body language, you have to be specific as well. Look at the shoulders. Look at the tilt of the head. Look at the hand gestures. So be aware of that. And now, guys, we come to the last question, which is editing. Now, you need to know the following. It's only worth 10 marks, but this is a toughie. This is where people get 2 or 3. It's a toughie unless you are an English-speaking person. And even then, it's tough because we don't know the mechanics of language very well. So, prepare in this way. Be aware of the 3 sentence types: the simple sentence, the complex sentence, and the compound sentence. Go and look that up. Also be aware of error in concord. An error in concord occurs when the subject of the sentence does not agree with the verb of the sentence. So, if you said, she are going to town, wrong, error in concord. She is the subject of the sentence and it is singular. She is one. Are, which is the verb, are going, is plural. wrong. It's got to be she is going to town. The only time there's an exception, and you know that with English there are always exceptions. The only time there's an exception is if you are talking about a collective noun, like a pride of lions, for example. You're not going to say the pride are lying under the trees. No, because the pride is seen as one, singular. So you say the pride is lying under the tree. But remember, Error in Concord says that the subject must agree with the verb. Singular subject, singular verb. Then sometimes there are questions that include a word that says malapropism. A malapropism is an incorrect usage of a word. So it's usually quite a sophisticated word, and that is used erroneously in a passage. That's called a malapropism. Next, guys, please go and have a look at the difference between a homophone and a homonym. A homophone is pronounced the same way, but is spelt differently, and the meaning is different. A homonym is spelt in the same way, but the meaning is different. As I said just now, peer and peer. Guys, be aware of various punctuation. Have a look at what those little dots are. That's ellipsis. What is the effect of ellipsis? Well, it often adds suspense. It often adds mystery. It also indicates an unknowing. You don't know how the outcome is going to, be resolved. Guys, have a look at the function of the apostrophe. There are only two functions. The apostrophe works in two ways. It indicates possession, belonging, and it indicates a letter that is omitted. And another word is contraction. So it indicates possession, belonging, and it indicates omission or contraction. Also go and have a look at the difference between a dash and a hyphen. You need to do that. Guys, be aware of words that are hyphenated. Words that are put together are called compound nouns or adjectives. Like a walking stick is a compound noun. A razor sharp knife is razor sharp, is joined with a hyphen. That is a compound adjective because it describes the knife. Okay. Guys, another thing is a split infinitive. So, first of all, the infinitive is something like this: to run, to jump. So you've got the word to and you've got the verb. That's called an infinitive. When you split it, you say to quickly run. That's wrong. That is a split infinitive, and that is an error. You can't put anything in between the to and the verb. It's got to be to run, correct. To quickly run, erroneous. It's wrong. Guys, I hope this helps you. I will be posting some more information on your literature as well, The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry, and also Long Day's Journey into Night. Go well. Best of luck for you for tomorrow. Au revoir.